Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the top 3 best 144Hz gaming monitors in this year. I made this list based on my personal opinion and hours of research, and I've listed them based on quality, durability, price, and more. I've included options for every type of consumer, so if you're looking for the best value per dollar or the best product money can buy, we'll have the product for you. If you want more information and updated pricing on the products mentioned, be sure to check the links in the description down below. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Number 1, AOC G259OPX. The first entry in this category goes to a monitor from a well-known monitor manufacturer, AOC, and it's their beautiful AOC G259OPX model. The monitor features an incredibly sleek design with near non-existent bezels and stylish red highlights, which easily establish the G259OPX as a gaming monitor without being too much. Moving on, the key features. The display. The AOC G259OPX is a 25-inch 1080p TN monitor, which is unsurprising considering how popular this type of panel is, especially among cheaper monitors with high refresh rates. In addition to the 144Hz refresh rate, it also features a 1 millisecond response time, which is another notable advantage of this particular type of panel. Ports. In addition to the dual HDMI 1.4 ports and a single DisplayPort 1.2 connector, this monitor also features a VGA port and a 4-port USB 3.0 hub for good measure. AMD FreeSync. Every 144Hz monitor has to have adaptive sync, and as has been the rule for years now, the budget solutions always go with FreeSync due to how much cheaper it is to implement than G-Sync. It works in the 30 to 144Hz range, which is pretty much the best anyone could ask for. Adjustable stand. With the G259OPX, you get a highly adjustable stand that can be adjusted not only for tilt but also for height, pivot, and swivel. Plus, the stand is simple but still looks good, and it even has a convenient opening for cable management. VESA compatibility. Sure, the stock stand that comes with this monitor is quite good, but in the case that you might want to replace it for whatever reason, you'll be pleased to know that it is compatible with any 100x100 VESA mount. Integrated speakers. As with the previous model, the G259OPX has dual 2W speakers, and while it's a convenient feature to have, it's not something to base your choice of monitor on. Downside of the monitor. Underwhelming visuals. As is usually the case with TN panels, the G259OPX has some issues with color accuracy. The panel actually fares better than the average TN model in this price range. The colors are decent and not as washed out as they usually are with affordable 144Hz monitors. But still, it can't compare to IPS or VA panels when it comes to either the colors or the contrast. Final thoughts. As we have already mentioned, the G259OPX is a budget solution, as far as 144Hz monitors are concerned. True, it looks very sleek and appealing at first glance, but the performance benefits that it offers at its approachable price point inevitably come at the cost of color accuracy, contrast, and viewing angles. Number 2, AOC C24G1. Moving on, we get to something a bit different. The next monitor on the list also comes from AOC, and it, too, is a highly responsive 144Hz model, but with a key difference. The AOC C24G1 is a curved VA monitor, so it manages to bring visuals and performance together in one well-priced package. On the outside, the C24G1 doesn't look half bad. Much like the G259OPX, it features a matte black exterior with a reasonable touch of red, combined with a decent, if somewhat cheap-looking, stand. Moving on, the key features. The display. As mentioned in the introduction, the C24G1 features a curved 1080p VA panel. Just as you might expect, this panel offers superb contrast and the performance is buttery smooth, without any noticeable blurring or ghosting. Meanwhile, the 1500R curve won't do wonders for immersion, but it is more than adequate for a 16:9 screen. Ports. Just like the previous AOC model, the C24G1 features two HDMI 1.4 and a single DisplayPort 1.2, an analog audio jack, as well as a single VGA port. However, it lacks the previous monitor's USB hub. AMD FreeSync. As before, we have a budget 144Hz monitor that comes with AMD FreeSync as its adaptive sync solution. The range is a bit narrower than the G259OPX at 48 to 144Hz, but that's not too big of a deal. Adjustable stand. The stand that comes with the C24G1 can be adjusted for tilt, height, and swivel. VESA support. The monitor supports 100x100 VESA stands and mounts. Downsides of the monitor. Not the best color accuracy. while it fares better than the G259OPX in terms of contrast and overall immersion thanks to the curved screen, the AOC C24G1 doesn't exactly shine in the color accuracy department either. The colors don't look quite as good as they do on most IPS monitors in this price range. Some ghosting issues. While VA panels tend to have excellent contrast and solid colors, ghosting is a relatively common problem. As for the C24G1, there is some noticeable ghosting in darker scenes, though it's nothing deal-breaking. Final thoughts. All things considered, the AOC C24G1 is far from being a bad monitor, especially at its current price point. Sure, it may not be able to match an IPS panel when it comes to color reproduction, but it still offers immersive visuals thanks to excellent contrast and a curved screen. Number 3, Acer VG240Y. And for the final entry in this category, we have yet another monitor, and this one comes from Acer, the Acer VG240Y. As you might have guessed, what separates this model from the previous two AOC ones is the fact that it uses an IPS panel, which means you're in for some very good visuals. Design-wise, it is a bit gaudier, as it features a more detail-heavy front than the previous two monitors. This extends to the stand, too, which is a tad more attention-grabbing than the stands seen with the previous two models. Moving on, the key features. The display. The display of the Acer VG240Y uses a full HD IPS panel, and as is almost always the case with this type of panel, they beat TN and VA ones when it comes to color accuracy, though they aren't quite as responsive as the former and don't have contrast as good as the latter. The response time is the usual 4 milliseconds, but of course, Acer has implemented their own take on motion blur reduction to help with this. Ports. The VG240Y keeps it simple when it comes to ports, and it just features the usual two HDMI 2.0 ports and a single DisplayPort 1.2 input. AMD FreeSync. Seen as this is yet another budget 144Hz monitor, it is only natural that it, too, features FreeSync as opposed to the pricier NVIDIA G-Sync. It is available in the 48 to 144Hz range. Adjustable stand. The VG240Y features an adjustable stand, albeit a highly rudimentary one. Though it may look good, the stock stand can only be adjusted for tilt, which is a bit disappointing. VESA support. As expected, the monitor is compatible with 100x100 VESA mounts. Downsides of the monitor. Underwhelming stand. As stated above, the stock stand that ships with the Acer VG240Y will hardly impress anyone, and it is way too basic for a monitor in this price range. Granted, the monitor features a good IPS panel, but we feel that including a decent VESA stand wouldn't have added too much to the price. Poor contrast and backlight bleed. The chief downsides to IPS panels are poor black uniformity due and backlight bleed. Sure enough, a budget IPS monitor is not an exception, and the blacklight bleed is particularly noticeable if you usually use your PC in a darker room. Furthermore, the contrast cannot really compare to what the VA-equipped AOC C24G1 can offer either, and the blacks usually look dark gray instead. Final thoughts. Seeing as we have previously touched upon the inherent advantages and disadvantages of the three most popular panel types, it should be obvious as to why you might want to pick this monitor over one of the previous two models, the color reproduction. The VG240Y features vibrant colors that you just won't see in a TN panel or any VA panels in this price range.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the video. If you found the video helpful, please remember to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions related to these products, you can leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.